Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. Okay, today is tutorial 4. Okay, we will continue our class. Before we start with today's topic, okay, I would like to recap a little bit on our previous recorded video for our tutorial, in which regarding the normality, because our topic today is related with the normality test. Okay, we want to know whether our data, okay, is normally distributed or not normally distributed. Is by, okay, you have this interface of data. I have also uploaded in ITEL. Okay, it is the same database. Okay, if you have downloaded before, then that's it. Okay, we have two kind of database. This is the very first one that I have given to you. It depends on you. You want to use this kind of database, or you want to try the second one. Okay, it depends on you. So for this database, okay, if you still remember, once you get the questionnaire, okay, you get back your questionnaire, you have distributed to your what we call respondents. Okay, you have distributed your questionnaire, and then you get it back, all the questionnaire, and you obtain the data. Okay, after that, you need to transfer your data into SPSS, and then you need to check if there is any missing data. And then you need to do the what we call normality test, and then you need to do the descriptive statistic analysis. You need to find the mean, mode, median, and so on. So for the normality test, we want to know whether our data is normally distributed or not. Why? Because from that, if our data, okay, our data obtained is normally distributed, means we can decide whether we want to use parametric or non-parametric analysis. Okay, so for the parametric analysis, if you want to, for your research objective, if you want to compare, or you want to obtain the differences between one variable with another, you can use t-test. Okay, I have mentioned this before. And if you want to know the correlation or the relationship one variable with another, you need to use Pearson correlation. Okay, so today we will recap a little bit. Okay, recap a little bit on normality. So how to do the normality test? How can we do the test for normality? How do we know our data is normally distributed? First thing first, you have your SPSS. Okay, and then you click on analyze here, and then you go to the descriptive statistics, right? And then you need to find the explore. Click on it, and then there will be a pop-out. Okay, this pop-out, what you need to do is, okay, all right, what you need to do is you need to insert the computed data. Okay, I have taught you before about on how to compute the data. So I'm hoping that you still remember. If otherwise, you just go back to our previous video. Okay, so the computed data, okay, the computed data, if you can see, it is on this list. So for this case, I try to use a variable, namely kepuasan hidup. and then I try to insert under dependent list. All right. I want to know whether this data is normally distributed or not. So once I have inserted under dependent list, I click on statistics, and then you can see this confidence interval for me is 95%, meaning that the alpha value will be 0.05. Continue plot. For this plot, you need to click on these three: stem and leaf, histogram, and also normality plot with test, because you need to know whether your data is normally distributed or not. So once you have clicked with these three, you continue and then you click OK. All right, just go fast because we have learned this before. Just to recap. All right, so this is your output for your normality test just now. So our data or our respondents now you can see and is about 199. All right, 199, which is more than 50 respondents or more than 50 people. So you straightly go to the test of normality. Okay, from here, where do you need to see whether Kolmogorov or Shapiro work is depends on how many respondents did you have. Okay, for this case, you have 199, which is more than 50. So more than 50, you need to look at under the Kolmogorov. Okay, if your respondents is less than 50, then you need to look at the value of significant difference under Shapiro. Okay, so now is under Kolmogorov, right? Kepuasan hidup under Kolmogorov, the significant value is 0.02. Okay, the significant value is 0.02, which is more than 0.05. Okay, if you still remember, if more than 0.05, our data is normally distributed. Okay, so you have decide that your data is normally distributed. What can you do? You can use parametric analysis. Okay, so you can use parametric analysis. Bear in your mind. So let me close this output. I don't want to save it. Right now, today, okay, today we will take a look on the comparison or the differences in variables in which we should use t-test, okay, for parametric analysis. So for t-test, okay, for t-test, okay, so this simple note for t-test I have uploaded in ITEL as well. So I'm hoping that, and I'm expecting that you have downloaded, okay, before you watch this video. If you haven't, please do so. All right. So we will learn about t-tests. There are three main types for t-tests. Okay, we shall take a look on one sample t-test, independent samples t-test, and packed samples t-test. Okay, so one sample t-test. Okay, one sample t-test is used for what? It is used to test whether the mean of a single variable, okay, mean of single variable, whatever variable that you have, for example, for our case, is kepuasan hidup just now, all right? So we want to look at the mean of the kepuasan hidup. What is that? What does it mean by the mean of kepuasan hidup? It is the one that have been computed, all right? So we want to use to test whether the mean of single variable, is it differ? Okay, is it differ from a specific constant? The specific constant might be the value, the mean value from the previous study or the in the literature study, okay, that you referring to. All right. So we have know that one sample t-test is used for what? Next. Okay. in your research, okay, in your research study, usually you have research objective, research question, right? So this is one of the example for your research objective. If you want to know the comparison or the differences in for the variable. Okay, so this is an example for the research objective, okay, to determine the difference, okay, or to compare in life satisfaction between 199 is our number of sample just now, 199 students studied, and the life satisfaction of the previous sample. Okay. So what you want to see, life satisfaction, the kepuasan hidup. All right. This is in English, life satisfaction. So this is your research objective. In order for you to what we call to test or to analyze, all right, or to answer this research objective, to prove this research objective, you need to do one sample t-test. Okay, you need to do one sample t-test. Just now, we have decided if we have normally distributed data, you need to use parametric analysis. So if you want to compare the variable or you want to see the differences, you need to do the t-test. But which t-test? Okay, if this is your research objective, then you need to use one sample t-test. Okay, so to start this one sample t-test, whatever it is, you need to have your hypothesis. Okay, your hypothesis is including null and alternative hypothesis. All right, HO here is stand for null hypothesis. All right, what is your null hypothesis? For example, this is not this is there. Okay, I will edit this. I need to edit this because to avoid any complication, let me close this one. We just use the words lah. Much more easier. Oops. Okay. There. All right. So what is your null hypothesis? The statement is there is no significant difference in life satisfaction between 199 students studied and the life satisfaction of the previous sample. All right. It states that no significant difference. Okay. It's just the same. Our study and the previous study is the same. That is the statement. There is no significant difference. All right. But how about the alternative hypothesis? For the H1 is alternative. Alternative hypothesis is there is a significant difference in life satisfaction between 199 students studied and the life satisfaction of the previous sample. It states that your mean value for your life satisfaction in your current research study have differences, not the same as the previous one. So that is the statement for the alternative hypothesis. All right, you have your hypothesis, null and alternative hypothesis. Now, now you want to prove that whether your HO, your null hypothesis, will be accepted or not. All right, will be rejected or fail to be rejected. All right. So you need to run your SPSS first. Okay, so this is, we go straightly to the SPSS. Okay, we need to practice. This is your data just now, the same data. You need to click on analyze. Okay, click on analyze. Click on compare mean. Okay, click on compare mean, and then you go to one sample t-test, because currently we are learning about one sample t-test. So you click on it. So you have the pop-out. Okay, so this pop-out, what you need to do, look at your simple note here that I have given to you. So you will have two things that you need to key in. First is test variable. Second is test value. So your test variable, it depends on what you want to see. So for this example, we want to see on tahap kepuasan hidup, the level of life satisfaction. So remember to insert the one that has been computed. So kepuasan hidup, right? Kepuasan hidup, and then you insert in the test variable. Test value just now is how much? 16.8. So 16.8. This is where did I get 16.8? This one is from the the previous study, in the literature study. Okay, so meaning that when you are writing your report, in thesis, you need to cite. Okay, you need to cite in which paper, who is the author, and then what the title for the research or the paper, okay, that has been published. So you need to cite, make sure it is in your references list, right? So what else do we need to have? Okay, so just run. All right, okay. So this is your the output for your one sample t-test. Okay, so from this one sample t-test, what you need to do is you refer on your simple note test. Okay, just the same one. Okay, this is the same one from this output. I'm just screenshot it and then paste in this Microsoft Word. So we just look at this Microsoft Word lah. Okay, just the same things. So from one sample t-test here, the output, all right, what can you see or what can you report is the first you look at the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, the mean for the tahap kepuasan hidup is 2.90, 2.91 or 2.90. Standard deviation is 0.51. All right, and then okay, this is just the mean and the standard deviation value. Now we look at the second box, one sample test here. All right, so from here, okay, you can see T here. T, the value for T test is 79.806. Okay, using this in the bracket is referring to the here, DF here. Okay, 198. It is just -1. Your sample number -1, and then you get 198. That's why I put star here. Okay, so that you will not get confused with your sample number. So here you write T in the bracket 198 star equals to 79.806. So here we know that our t-test value is 79.806. All right, but how can we decide whether we want to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis is you need to look at the two-sided P here. Okay, the significance value, the significant value for the two-sided P here is less than 0.005. Okay, your value here is 0.001, which is less than the P value is less than 0.05. Okay, less than 0.05. So from the statement, if your P value is less than 0.05, your null hypothesis will be rejected. But if your p-value is more than 0.05, your null hypothesis is failed to be rejected, or in other words, your null hypothesis is accepted. Okay, so in this case, your value is less than 0.05. So your null hypothesis should be rejected. So this is the conclusion. This is how you write in your report, in your thesis. Okay. Based on the findings obtained in the one sample t-test table, the life satisfaction score of the student studied is higher than the life satisfaction score of the previous sample. Okay, this is just the statement that I have copy paste from the research objective. All right. So your value here you need to state in your report. Okay, you need to state this in your report. T in the bracket of 198 star is equals to 79.806. Okay, where did you get this value? It is from the table. Which table? One sample t-test table that you have analyzed in your SPSS. That's why you need to analyze first, then you get the value. Okay, from this t value, your p, okay, your significant value is less than 0.05. Therefore, the null hypothesis HO stating that what is your null hypothesis state just now, you refer from the top one. Okay, your null hypothesis and your alternative hypothesis. So please state in your report as well. The null hypothesis stating that there is no significant difference in life satisfaction between study sample and the previous sample is rejected. Meaning, if you reject your null hypothesis, okay, your null hypothesis saying that, oh, there is no significant difference. So you reject that statement. If you reject that statement, meaning that your life satisfaction, okay, in your current study have difference. The mean value for your life satisfaction have difference, significantly difference from the previous study. That is what we need to translate. But in your report, you just write in this way. All right. All right. So this is one sample t-test. Okay. We have another two. So we go to the next. All right. We go to the next. For this one sample t-test, if you have questions, okay, I will open Q&A in ITEL as well. So you can comment in that Q&A if you have any problem, all right, or any question or any inquiries. So we strictly go to the independent sample t-test, all right. This independent sample t-test, when can you use? You use to test comparative research questions. Okay, it tests for difference in two group means, okay, two group means, or you compare means for two group of cases. You have two group means, and then you want to compare. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, don't get confused. Independent sample t-test and packed sample t-test. This is independent sample t-test. Please pay attention. Independent sample t-test, you have two different, okay, two group means. Okay, two group means, and then you want to test the differences. Okay, you have two group in one cases. For example, okay, from your demographic, you have gender, right? Male and female. So you want to see whether there are significant difference, okay, in, for example, in what variable between male and female. All right, this is independent sample t-test. For example, you have research question here. For example, in your study, your research question, one of your research questions stated that, are there any significant difference in stress level? Okay, we want to see, this is our variable, stress level, between male and female. Okay, whether male is higher or female is higher, male is lower or female is lower. Okay, we want to see if there is any significant difference. Okay, whether the male is tend to get stress more easier than the female. Are they what we call, are they have higher stress compared to female? Okay, we want to see that. Are there any significant difference? So the first thing first, as usual, you need to write your hypothesis, which is null and alternative hypothesis. Your null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in stress level between male and female. Okay, you are stating that male and female, their stress level are the same. There is no significant difference. That is for your null hypothesis. How about your alternative hypothesis? You are stating that there is a significant difference in stress level between male and female. Okay, you are saying that there is difference between male stress level and female stress level for your alternative hypothesis. Okay, before we go further, for our variable, okay, not necessarily you put stress level. It depends on you. If you want to test kepuasan hidup, okay, all the computed variable in your SPSS database, okay, it depends on you. For this case, we just grab stress level variable, okay, for example only. So what is happening to this number? All right. So we should run our SPSS, okay, to know or to test or to prove, okay, or to answer the research question that you have right on the top. All right. So right now we go to our this output. I just close up. Or I should say no lah. All right. So you need to do, all right, so this is your database. You click on analyze, right? Analyze. And then the same things, you go to compare means, okay? After that, you go to independent sample t-test. Just now is one sample. Right now is independent sample t-test. Okay, click on it. Okay, once you click, there will be a pop-out for independent sample t-test. What you need to do is you need to find your search for your variable. Okay, desired variable just now is what? Stress, right? The stress level you put under test variable. Okay, how about the grouping variable? You refer to your simple node test. Okay, simple node for t-test. Test variable, just now we want to pick stress level. Okay, mean of the stress level is the one that has been computed. Remember, computed data. For the group variable, what you need to do for the group variable, you need to put the gender from the demographic data. Okay, because of what? Because you are looking for male and female. Male and female is under gender. All right, so gender here, you need to go to the demographic data, Jantina. All right, put under grouping variable, and then you need to define group. Define group is the one that has been insert, okay, in your SPSS, okay, in which you have defined group 1 is for male and group 2 is for female, okay, and then continue. All right, so what else you need to do? No need, you just need to click OK. All right, so this is your output. Okay, this is your output for your independent sample t-test. All right. So this one I have screenshot and I have paste on Microsoft Word. So the same things. Okay, it is the same things. So just look at here. All right. So this is the one that I have been screenshotted and paste. So what you need to do once you have this output, first you need to look at the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, lelaki for male, the mean is 263.01 with the standard deviation, and for perempuan is 229.70 or 71 with the standard deviation. All right. So this one you should report in your thesis as well. Okay. And then we straightly go to the independent sample t-test. All right. So how to read this independent sample t-test? First, okay. First, you need to look under Levin's test. Okay, you have L-E-V-E-N-E here, Levin's test. So whether you want to look at the value at equal variance assumed or equal variance not assumed, it depends on your Levin's test value. All right. So first, you look at your significant difference value here is 0.16. Your significant value here is more than 0.05. Okay, if your P is more than 0.05, okay, more than 0.05, you need to choose equal variance is assumed. The one that on the top, equal variance assumed. You need to choose this one. All right. After you choose this one, what you need to do, you need to look at the, look at the significant value at two-sided P, okay, at two-sided P here on the top, 0.13. Okay, this is your significant value that you need to look at, not the bottom one. Why? Because you choose equal variance assumed. How can you choose equal variance assumed? Based on your significant value under Levin's test. Okay, in which the value is more than 0.05. Okay, so your significant value here under two-sided P is 0.13, which is more than 0.05. Okay, more than 0.05. So next, you look at number 6. Due to P more than 0.05, okay, equal variance is assumed. Just now it's the same. Okay, under two-sided P. Okay, your value under two-sided P just now is 0.13, right? So because of the value is more than 0.05, okay, more than 0.05, your null hypothesis fails to be rejected. Okay, your null hypothesis fails to be rejected. So in your thesis, you need to report like this, okay? Based on the findings obtained in the independent samples t-test table, stress level between male and female are significantly different. Okay, are significantly different. Why did you say it is significantly different? Because just now, fail to be rejected are not significantly different. Okay. HO, just now your statement for HO is there is no significant difference, right? Okay. So your stress level between male and female are not significantly different, meaning their stress level are the same. Male and female have the same stress level. Okay. So T in the bracket of 198 star is equals to, your T value is 1.518. Where did you get this value? Is from your table just now, this one. Okay, T 1.518. So you just copy and paste in your report. And at this value, your P or your significant P value is more than 0.05. Where did you know that it is more than 0.05? Because you look at the two-sided value, two-sided P value, which is 0.13, more than 0.05. That's why you write P more than 0.05. Therefore, the null hypothesis, what is your null hypothesis? There is no significant difference in stress level between male and female. Okay, so this statement of null hypothesis is failed to be rejected. We are not rejecting, we are accepting this null hypothesis. So meaning that there is no significant difference between male stress level and female stress level. Okay. So this is independent sample t-test. Okay. Remember that you want to test or you want to compare a variable, a research variable between two groups. Okay, what groups? For example, male and female. All right, but it is different case for the PET sample t-test. Okay, different case for the PET sample t-test. This PET sample t-test used to compare the means of two variables for a single group. Okay, means of two variables for single group. Okay, the procedure computed the differences between value of the two variables for each case and tests whether the average differs from 0. Okay, means of two variables, you have a group. This is usually if you do the pilot test. Okay, kajian rintis, you do the pilot test. You want to see whether there is a significant difference between pre and post test. Okay, your pilot test, usually you have a single group, you do pre and post test. Okay. For example, you have research objective here. Okay. You want to determine the difference in mean life satisfaction, okay, between pre-life satisfaction and post-life satisfaction. You have a variable, your variable from your SPSS, the one that has been computed is kepuasan hidup. Okay, life satisfaction is kepuasan hidup. So you have pre data and post data for kepuasan hidup, and then you want to see whether there is a differences, okay, between pre and post data. Okay, so whatever it is, you need to have your hypothesis. Okay, because from this hypothesis, then you can know whether you want to reject or fail to be rejected the null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in mean life satisfaction between pre-life satisfaction and post-life satisfaction. You are saying that the data from pre is the same as post because there is no significant difference, right? You are saying that for null hypothesis. But for alternative hypothesis, you are saying that there is a significant difference in mean life satisfaction between pre-life and post-life satisfaction. So you are saying that the pre and post data for kepuasan hidup, life satisfaction, is not the same. There will be a significant difference between them. You are saying that, right? For alternative hypothesis. All right. So in order for you to prove the research or to analyze the research objective, okay, you need to run the SPSS. All right. So how to run? Just the same, okay? Just the same step. analyze, compare mean, and then you choose PAT sample t-test. Okay, but now difference for the variable, because just now we have two variable. Okay, so we go back to our SPSS data. All right, so analyze. Okay, same things, you go to compare mean, but this time you go to PAT sample t-test. Click on it. Okay, so this is the pop out for PAT sample t-test. You have two variables just now, right? The pre and the post life satisfaction. So you need to choose the pre and post. Okay, if you can see here, your pre is here. Okay, put in your first variable. The second variable, you try to get the post. Okay, which one? I choose the first one. I think it is the same thing, the 2 times computed. Okay, the pre and post. All right, so what you need to do is you just click OK. All right, so this is the output for the PAT sample t-test. Okay, and again I have screenshot it and paste in the Microsoft Word. So this is the screenshot image, right? So you have the output. Straightly go just the same things. This is the mean, this is the standard deviation you can refer to, and then we straightly go to the PAT sample t-test analysis or the output. All right. Here, okay, here you have your significant. You can read straightly. It's like the layover, okay, sorry, the layout for the PAT sample t-test is quite similar with the one sample, okay, in which you can straightly read the significant value. Okay, not the same as independent just now, right? Okay, so for the PAT sample t-test, okay, your t-value is negative 2.976 here. Okay, you have the t-value. All right, but look at your significant value at two-sided P. All right, it is 0.003. Okay, 0.003, meaning the p-value is less than 0.05. All right, what is the consequences? If your p-value is less than 0.05, your null hypothesis will be rejected. Okay, your null hypothesis will be rejected. So how can you write in your report? Okay, you need to report all this. This is not a discussion yet, just to report the data. So how to report it? Based on the findings obtained in the PAT sample t-test table, the mean life satisfaction between pre-life satisfaction and post-life satisfaction are significantly different. Why you are saying that it is significantly different? Because just now you are decided to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, you are decided to reject the null hypothesis. Okay. And then you need to write what is your value for the t-test. This is the format lah. Okay, you can copy. Your t value is equals to negative 2.976. Okay, with the p value, the significant difference value is 0.003, which is p is less than 0.05. Okay, so when the p value is less than 0.05, therefore the null hypothesis, what is your null hypothesis just now? The null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in mean life satisfaction between pre and post, is rejected. Okay, just now you are saying that the null hypothesis saying kepuasan hidup, okay, kepuasan hidup between pre and post, there is no significant difference, just the same. Okay, that is your null hypothesis. but right now you are rejecting the null hypothesis. So once you reject your null hypothesis, meaning that there is a significant difference. The mean value for the pre-life satisfaction is not the same as post. Okay, it's not the same as post. Which one is higher, which one is lower? It depends on your mean value here. Okay, it depends on your mean value here. If you can see here, your post-life satisfaction is higher than the mean value for post-life satisfaction is higher than the mean value for pre-life satisfaction. Post-life, your value is 23.2764 with the standard deviation 0.31. Your pre-life satisfaction, the mean is 22.995, okay, with the standard deviation 0.32 value. All right, so this mean you need to report as well, okay? So once you have report this in your thesis, okay, you need to give the reason lah. Okay, why is higher than another one? Okay, usually this what we call this quantitative data is supported by the qualitative data, meaning if you want to know why the mean value for the post-life satisfaction is higher than the pre, usually the researcher will interview the respondents. Okay, they will interview the respondent. So the respondent will give you the answer. Okay, for example, there's a lot of reasons. So once they give you the reason, okay, you write in your report, you need to support with the references. Okay, what other study have discussed about the life satisfaction? Okay, if you have a similar not similar, if you have quite similar thesis or research study with the previous or in the literature, you can refer to that study and add as references in your thesis, okay, to support your study. All right, that is how you do the research study. All right. Okay, so we have done with 3 types of t-tests. Okay, so you need to know the differences and when can you use these 3 types of t-tests. Okay, it is not necessarily, when you do the research study, you need to do all these 3 tests. No, all these 3 t-tests. No. Okay, it depends on what is your research objective or what is your research question that you need to solve. Okay, if your research objective is about to test the mean of one single variable, okay, with the previous one, then you use the one sample t-test lah. Okay, if you want to compare 2 variable, then you use paired sample t-test. Okay, it depends on what RO or RQ in your research. Okay, it doesn't mean that you need to use all these 3. Okay, because you have a lot of other analysis tests. Analysis for your a lot of other tests for your analysis. All right. So please bear in mind before you are deciding to use t-test. Okay, use t-test in your what we call in your research. You need to make sure your data are normally distributed. Okay, how to make sure is you need to do the normality test. Okay, that I have shown to you at earlier stage just now before we start with the test. Okay, and in the previous class you can refer to that video lah. All right, so I think that's all for t-test. Okay, so I'm hoping that we will see each other soon face to face for our class. Okay, for today's class don't forget, after you watch this video, don't forget to put the comments, write your name and your matric number in Padlet.com. Okay. If you forgot to write or comment in Padlet.com, then your attendance will be not taken. Okay. So your attendance depends on the Padlet.com. All right. Okay. So I think that's all for today's tutorial class. Thank you so much. Okay, Selamat Hari Raya. Assalamualaikum and have good day to all of you.